Hello and welcome back to People Skills Pro. We spend a lot of time on this channel decoding the subtle signs of social dynamics, friendship, attraction, and hidden animosity. But today, we need to have a more serious conversation. We need to talk about the line between someone who is simply toxic or difficult and someone who is genuinely dangerous to your well-being. There is a profound difference between a person who is a bad friend and a person who is engaged in a campaign to break you. A toxic person might be negative or self-absorbed. Their presence is draining. A dangerous person is a strategist. Their actions are not random. They are a deliberate, systematic assault on your sense of reality, your self-worth, and your sanity. They are not just creating drama, they are waging a form of psychological warfare. Most good-hearted people are not equipped to recognize this kind of attack. We are conditioned to look for physical threats, but the deepest wounds are often inflicted in silence through sophisticated manipulation and emotional abuse. We make excuses for their behavior. We tell ourselves we're being too sensitive or paranoid. We mistake a declaration of war for a simple disagreement. This tendency to rationalize away danger is the psychological warrior's greatest advantage. Today, we are going to take that advantage away. We are going to arm you with the clarity to see the battlefield. We will do a deep dive into the 5 signs that you are not just dealing with dislike, but with a deliberate campaign of psychological warfare. We will dissect the objective behind each tactic and provide a clear framework for what to do when you realize you are under attack. This is not a lesson in social etiquette. This is a lesson in self-preservation. The core principle: toxic is a storm, warfare is a strategy. Before we get to the red flags, we must understand the fundamental difference between a toxic person and a psychological warrior. A toxic person is like a storm. They are chaotic, draining, and often self-absorbed. Being around them is unpleasant, but their negative impact is often a byproduct of their own internal chaos. They are not necessarily strategically trying to harm you. They are just a difficult person to be around. A psychological warrior is a strategist. They are a general on a battlefield, and you are the target. Their actions are not random. They are calculated moves in a campaign designed to achieve a specific objective: to control, diminish, and ultimately break your sense of self. The signs we are about to discuss are not just toxic behaviors, they are strategic campaigns. Recognizing them as such is the first step to building your defense. Campaign number 1: the Reality Heist, systematic gaslighting. This is the foundational tactic of all psychological warfare. Gaslighting is not just lying, it is a systematic attempt to make you question your own sanity. The strategic objective is to destroy your trust in your own perceptions and memory. If you cannot trust your own mind, you become completely dependent on the warrior's version of reality, which they can then manipulate at will. They want to become the sole authority on what is real. What it looks like: the pattern. Denial of facts. You bring up a specific event or something they said, they will look you in the eye and flatly deny it. That never happened. I would never say that. You're making that up. They will attack your mind. They will consistently question your mental state. You have a terrible memory. You're always so emotional, you can't see things clearly. You're being paranoid. The crazy label: over time, they will start telling you and others that you are unstable or crazy. This is the final step, designed to discredit you so that no one will believe you when you try to expose their abuse. The damage. This is not just frustrating, it is profoundly damaging. It can lead to severe anxiety, depression, and a complete loss of self-confidence. You begin to believe that you are, in fact, the problem. Campaign number 2, the isolation siege. A psychological warrior cannot control you if you are surrounded by a strong, supportive network of friends and family who can offer a reality check. Therefore, their next major campaign is to cut you off from your supply lines. The strategic objective is to isolate you and make you completely dependent on them for all social and emotional connection. An isolated target is a controllable target. What it looks like: the two-front war. Poisoning you against your network. They will systematically find flaws in everyone you trust. Your friends don't really have your back. Did you notice how they didn't defend you in that conversation? Your family is holding you back. They don't see your true potential like I do. Poisoning your network against you. They will go to your friends and family behind your back, framing their sabotage as concern. I'm really worried about your name. He's been acting so strangely lately. Have you noticed? I'm just trying to help him. The damage. You slowly find yourself drifting away from the people who love you. You start to believe the warrior's narrative that they are the only person you can truly trust. This creates a terrifying dependency and makes it much harder to leave. Campaign number 3, the Confidence Erosion Project. This campaign is a slow, methodical dismantling of your self-esteem. It's designed to make you feel so incompetent and worthless that you believe you are lucky to have them in your life. The strategic objective? To destroy your self-worth so you will never feel confident enough to leave or challenge them. What it looks like? A multi-pronged attack. The helpful sabotage. As we've discussed, they offer to help you with tasks in a way that is designed to make you fail, proving that you are incompetent without their guidance. The public humiliation. They use jokes or corrections in public settings to embarrass you and undermine your credibility. The constant comparison. They will constantly hold up the successes of others as a mirror to your own perceived failures. The moving the goalposts. They set impossible standards for you, and as soon as you meet them, they change the rules, ensuring you always feel like you are failing. The damage. Over time, you start to internalize their narrative. You begin to believe you are incompetent, that you are lucky to have them, and that you would be nothing without them. Campaign number 4, the Chaos Campaign, Intermittent Reinforcement. This is the campaign that creates the addictive trauma bond that makes it so hard to leave. The warrior is not cruel to you 100% of the time. If they were, it would be easy to leave. Instead, they are a chaotic mix of intense affection and sudden, brutal cruelty. The strategic objective? To create a state of confusion, desperation, and psychological addiction. What it looks like? The Jekyll and Hyde cycle. The love bombing phase. They shower you with intense affection, praise, and gifts. They make you feel like the most special person on earth. This is the high. The devaluation phase. Suddenly, often over a minor or non-existent issue, they turn on you. They become cold, critical, and cruel. They give you the silent treatment. They might fly into a rage. This is the low. The hoovering phase. Just as you are about to break and leave, they hoover you back in. They apologize profusely, they return to the love-bombing phase, and they promise it will never happen again. This cycle is incredibly addictive. Your brain gets hooked on the highs of the love-bombing phase and lives in a constant state of anxiety trying to avoid the lows. You become addicted to the abuser. Campaign 5, the Threat of Ruin. This is the final campaign, and it is the one that locks the cage. This is where the warrior moves from covert manipulation to overt threats to ensure you will never leave or expose them. The strategic objective? to create a sense of terror and hopelessness that paralyzes you into compliance. What it looks like: the veiled threats. Reputational threats. I know enough about you to ruin your career if you ever left me. If you tell anyone what happened, I will make sure all of our friends know what a crazy person you are. Financial threats. You'll be nothing without me. You'll never survive financially on your own. Emotional blackmail. If you leave me, I'll hurt myself and it will be your fault. Normalizing jokes about harm or destruction. As we've discussed, they make jokes about physical harm or destruction, testing your boundaries and normalizing the idea of violence. The damage? This creates a very real sense of fear. You feel trapped, believing that the consequences of leaving are worse than the pain of staying. The action plan? This is not a battle. It is an extraction. When you recognize that you are the target of a campaign of psychological warfare, you must understand that you cannot win by fighting on their terms. You cannot reason with them. You cannot fix them. You cannot change them. Your only objective is to get yourself to safety. Acknowledge the war. The first and most courageous step is to admit to yourself what is happening. Stop making excuses. Call it what it is: abuse. Secretly build your alliances. Quietly reach out to a trusted friend, a family member, or a professional therapist who is outside of the manipulator's influence. Tell them what is happening. You need an external anchor to reality. Document for clarity. Keep a private journal of the incidents. This is not to build a case against them. It is to keep yourself sane. When they try to gaslight you, your journal will be your proof. Plan your exit strategy. Do not announce your intention to leave. This will often trigger the most dangerous phase of their behavior. Your plan must be made in secret. This may involve securing new housing, separating finances, and creating a support system. Execute and go no contact. Once you leave, you must cut off all contact. This is the most crucial step. Block their number, their email, all social media, and the numbers of their enablers. Every point of contact is an open door for them to manipulate you back into the cycle. This is not a negotiation. It is an extraction from a hostile zone. So, let's bring this all together. There is a dark line between a person who is toxic and a person who is waging a psychological war against you. That line is crossed when you see a deliberate, strategic campaign designed to break your reality, isolate you from support, erode your confidence, addict you to a cycle of chaos, and entrap you with fear. Recognizing these 5 campaigns is not an act of paranoia. It is an act of profound self-preservation. Your gut feeling that you are in danger is real. It is your most loyal ally. Trust it. You cannot win a war with a person whose primary goal is your destruction. The only winning move is not to play. The only winning move is to leave the battlefield. Your safety, your sanity, and your future are worth fighting for, and that fight begins with the courageous decision to walk away. If this video resonated with you or someone you know, please share it. And if you are in a dangerous situation, please know that there are resources and people who can help. You are not alone. Thank you for listening.